Hola, hola, hola a todos. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Spanish class. Bienvenidos a la clase de español. More specifically, welcome to Spanish 9 of the 6Y program. Mi nombre es Señorita Enriquez. My name is Miss Enriquez. I thought I'd put together a little video that will guide you through what the course will look like this year, what the format is, what programs we use. As I'm sure you already know, we have quite a different format here at Argyle, and even then, my classes actually run quite differently than the other classes here at Argyle. So I thought I'd put together a little video to guide you through. So let's go ahead and get started. So first off, it's really important that you know which course you're in. Super duper important. There are 18 different courses here for Spanish and 3 different programs. So when you're checking into your online sessions, it's really important to know which one you're in. And it's also really important to make sure that you're in the right level. So this is Spanish 9 of Language and Culture. That is the name of the course. The program is 6-year. More often than not, you'll see the whole thing as Spanish 9 6Y. What does that mean? That means that you started Spanish in grade 7 and that it would literally take you 6 years to complete this course. So your first year would have been grade 7, you moved towards intermediate by grade 8, and this is where you are right now in your third year of taking Spanish or studying Spanish formally. If you decide to continue, you'd go all the way up there. So in your 6th year would be usually in grade 12. Sometimes it's a little earlier, sometimes it's a little later. And you would finish with Spanish 36Y. That would be the final course to finish the program. Okay, but now you're in your 3rd year, hopefully your 3rd year of formal Spanish education. So that's formal. So you've actually been studying grammar and vocabulary. So if you just live in a home where there are Spanish speakers, that wouldn't count as formal Spanish education. You might be right in this level, you might not. I would actually have to chat with you first to make sure that this is the right place for you. Ideally, you would have completed Spanish 7 6Y and Spanish, or 7 6Y and 8 6Y. That is the ideal scenario. And you've also had some or a lot of exposure to Spanish, which means that you're really comfortable with the sounds of Spanish and the rhythm of the language. So pause right now. Do you meet all 3 criteria? If you do, we'll continue. If you don't, I need you to contact me right away. Either email me, phone the school, or swing by the school so I can meet you in person. That's always fantastic. So I can find the right level for you. So guys, please don't be afraid to do this or nervous. It is not a problem at all to get you switched to a different course. What would be a problem is that you try to get through a course that's not necessarily appropriate for your level. So that would be really difficult throughout the year. But if you let me know, I'll chat with you and I will make sure that you're in the right place so I set you up for success. So if you have met these 3 criteria, though, we will go ahead and continue. So what to expect this year? Well, first off, this is a full year course. All language courses with Edmonton Public Schools have been designed to take a full year. If you're working on a different deadline, just contact me and we'll see what we can do about that. Definitely a lot that we can work with. Secondly, expect roughly about 3 hours of work each week. And this is your responsibility. So that does not mean that you're in class for 3 hours a week. That means that you have 3 hours of work on your own each week, whether that is completing assignments or projects, or if you don't have any homework, you should still be practicing out loud verbally. So speaking out loud, reviewing, repeating for about roughly 3 hours each week. The steps for the class. So how this actually works, like I said, there's no official class time. Sorry, I take that back. There's no official class lecture or lesson. So when you do come to class, which you do need to do once per week, you'll never hear me teach because I have so many students in so many different scenarios in so many different places that it's almost impossible to catch them all. So what I've done is I've taken the moments in class where I would normally give a lesson or instructions and I put together videos on my own time. So you can watch these videos on your own time when it's convenient for you. So you can watch them in the evenings, in the mornings, on the weekends, whatever works for you. However, when you do watch them, make sure you watch them quite seriously and quite closely. Please, whatever you do, don't just flop on the couch and play it in the background. You will miss so much information that way. So when you're watching these videos, pretend that I'm there teaching and instructing. So have a notebook out, jotting down notes as you go along, jotting down questions you're going to ask me when you sign in online, or areas of the video that you want me to go through with you together, things like that. Remember, like I said, everybody will be working at a different pace. So it's really important that you're specific with where you're at and what you need help with, what you need me to edit, what you need me to explain, all that fun stuff. So that's step number one, watch the instructional videos carefully as many times as you need to once you're comfortable with the material, because in these videos I will present grammar, vocab, I will go over assignments, I will explain projects, all that kind of stuff. So once you're comfortable with that, you can go ahead and move on to the written assignments. So these written assignments will be found on Google Classroom. They're either worksheets or projects for the most part. You might see the odd quiz, but that's quite rare. And then finally, once you're done your written assignments, you come online to complete your verbal assignments. So yes, these verbal assignments, guys, are really, really, really important. I think students tend to think that this is a correspondence course, so they can just complete the written assignments and complete the course and that's it. This is very incorrect. It's not true at all. You do have to speak out loud, and you do have to speak on a weekly basis, and it does need to be in Spanish and Espanol. And these verbal assignments actually make up the majority of your work, of your final grade, because this is an online course, right? Not a correspondence course. And since it's a language online course, I do have to hear you speak on a regular basis, which means that you absolutely need to have a working mic. Most laptops nowadays come with mics embedded in them. If you don't have that, you can always buy a mic separately and connect it into your existing computer. Whatever you choose to do, I just need to be able to hear you speak in Espanol in order to complete your verbal assignments, in order to complete the course, in order to get that final grade. And lastly, okay, like I said, there is no class time. However, you do still need to attend class every single week. So you can do so anytime between Tuesday 9 a.m. and 12, or Wednesday 9 a.m. to 12, or 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. When you sign in is up to you. Like I said, I will not be instructing during these times. These are the times that you sign in to speak to me directly, to ask questions, to review assignments, to get your assignments edited, to get extra help, and of course to complete those verbal assignments. So you can do so on one day, on both days, as much as you want. I have some students that have very limited free time, so they come at Tuesday at 9 a.m. promptly. They complete their assignment. They're only there for a few moments. I check them off, and they are free to go. I have some other students that come in Tuesday morning, and Wednesday afternoon. I see them for several hours. We practice the Spanish together. We edit work and go over assignments, all that fun stuff. So again, whatever you need, I am there to help you out. So I'll be online during all of those times. You do not need to let me know when you're checking in. It does not have to be the same time every week. It could be whenever works for you. And like I said, everybody will be working at a different pace. So when you check in, make sure you know your course and your program, and of course what assignments you're working on, what specific questions you might have, all that fun stuff. Okay, so that takes care of the format. The programs we use in this course are 3. So Google Sites, Google Classroom, and Blackboard. If you took Spanish with me at Argyle before, you might be expecting Moodle, but we will not be using that this year. Only Google Sites, Google Classroom, and Blackboard. You access all of it by going to School Zone. Once in School Zone, you select Apps and then Sites, and I'll show you what that looks like in a moment. Once you're there, this is the launching pad for literally everything that you need in the course. Looks like this. Little heads up, make sure you keep an eye out on this 6Y. You are part of the 6Y program. Sometimes there are glitches in the system, so you might see a 9Y or a 3Y. If this is the case, don't fret. Just send me a quick email, and I'll make sure that you're linked to the right place. So 6Y, right place. So these are your 4 icons down here. The first one, if you click on the purple icon, it will take you to Blackboard. So this is where we do our verbal assignments. Once you click on that icon, it will ask you to sign in with your first and last name. Make sure, guys, that you're actually putting your first and last name or your last initial. That's okay too. As much as I appreciate funny names and nicknames and whatnot, if you do that, I will simply ask you to sign out and sign back in, because then I won't know who you are. I have 6 different courses checking in during these times, which means I need to know who you are. And there's a lot of students with the same names and things like that, right? So make sure you're using your first and last name, please, or last initial. Your next icon right here is Google Classroom. You click on that, it'll take you straight to the Google Classroom page where you can submit your written assignments. Here, who is your teacher? I know it's kind of hard to get to know each other over this kind of format, this online format. So I put together a little video that shows you who I am, what to expect from me as a teacher, and what I expect from my students. And lastly, of course, the welcome video posted there for you in case you need to go back and review anything, or simply go back and get some information, things like that. Okay, so Google Classroom, again, this is where you hand in all your written assignments and projects. So you click on Google Classroom, the icon looks like that. Sometimes the background is green, and it'll take you to a page that looks like this. So again, making sure you're in the right one, Spanish 9 6Y. Perfect. Yours will look a little different. It won't say students, that's only for teachers. Yours will say coursework. So that's what you want to click into, coursework, and you'll be taken to all your units. Within each unit, there are videos, your instructional videos. And of course, attached to that are your worksheets and projects. So you want to make sure that you submit it right here in Google Classroom. Once you're done completing a worksheet, a submit button will appear and you'll just click that and you'll be done. Please make sure you're not sending it to me via email or sharing it with me on Google Share. That's just how things get lost in transit. So making sure written assignments get submitted on Google Classroom. Blackboard, this is where you come to class to complete your verbal assignments, ask questions, etc., etc. In the past, we used these different icons here, the laptop and the Blackboard. However, we have moved towards this purple icon right here. So that might be the only icon you see this year, but just in case you see the other two, don't worry about it. It all leads to the same place. Okay, so to get started, you want to sign into SchoolZone. Your username and password are the exact same ones that you've used since you registered with Edmonton Public Schools. Doesn't matter what school you go to, it's the same password and same username. So once you log in, yours will look just a little bit different. This again is the teacher view, but it's really important that you check SchoolZone on a regular basis. As you can see, that's where you'll find school news, class news, any important reminders from me, any important news from me. That's where I will post it, so keep an eye out for that. Your student profile and reports, that's where you'll find your updated marks, interim marks, report cards, all that fun stuff. And then here on apps, you click on apps, and there is your site. So SchoolZone, apps, sites, and then you will be at the launching pad and ready to get to work. Okay, so I've said most of this already, but a quick recap: steps to take in order to be successful in this course. Number 1, make sure to watch the instructional video first. Very, very, very important. Number 2, complete the corresponding assignments to each instructional video before moving on to the next video and assignments. This is really, really important. So like I mentioned, students will be working at a different pace. Some will be behind you, some will be ahead of you. So if you're working on a certain unit and the next 2 or 3 units pop up, don't worry about it. Don't even pay any attention to it. Keep focusing on what you're doing. Keep at your own pace and then move through the assignments in order. This is really important. Most languages are developed in the way that one concept leads to the next. So remember, in beginner Spanish, we started off with the Spanish alphabet, then we moved on to simple words, then complex words and simple sentences and complex sentences, and eventually independent conversations. So if you start jumping around from alphabet to conversation to words, all you're going to do is miss important information and make things way more confusing for yourself. So make sure that you're working in order. Attend class a minimum of once per week. This is an attendance requirement. Very, very important. you can attend. It could sometimes be as quick as 5 minutes. Sometimes it could be closer to an hour. It depends on what we're working on. But remember, you can attend anytime during the assigned days and assigned times, and you can attend as much as you want. The only requirement is that you attend for a minimum of once per week. Next would be complete all written assignments on Google Classroom, and of course complete all verbal assignments on Blackboard. Lastly, make sure that you dedicate all of January to the midterm task and all of June to the final task. So these are not exams, there are tasks, so they're actually a lot of work, but it's a really great way to bump up your mark because it's a really fantastic way to really solidify everything that we've done in each semester as well. So you can bump up your mark, but it takes a lot of work and dedication. So you want to make sure that you've done all your semester 1 assignments before January and all of your semester 2 assignments before June. If you don't and you're doing your regular assignments plus your midterm task or plus your final task, it will be way too much work. It will be very overwhelming, and at the end you might actually miss that final deadline, right? So I like to give my students a heads up in September so you can plan accordingly for the year. Okay, so now that we have a plan, we can get to work. Excellent. So just like these lovely little penguins look super determined, well, most of them, hopefully you are feeling determined too. So I wish you buena suerte y éxito en este nuevo curso. So I wish you best of luck, so good luck and success in this new course. All right, guys, if you have any other questions about this video or how the course works, by all means, just send me an email or give me a quick call or swing by the school. I'm more than happy to help you out. If not, I look forward to seeing you all in class. Gracias. Adios.